Hello, everybody.
Hello, sir.
Hey, how you doing? Doing good?
Doing good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much for asking. Hey, Sanket, how you doing?
I'm doing good, sir.
Great.
Thank you.
Good to see
Hello,
you.
sir.
Hey, how you?
Fine, sir. How are you?
Great. So see that your headphones are properly, uh, installed and you're using them. Because I'm getting feedback today again. So just see that you are using your headset or earphone, whatever you are using. Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate. Any question, guys, from the last lecture? Kamilesh, you are not asking questions these days. You are doing okay?
Yes, sir, I am doing okay. Yesterday I also did the GitHub bug, which you have told.
Okay,
So in that also I didn't get any doubts.
very good. So you were able to get the code, all of you?
Yes,
Very good. So what about you, Sanjana? Have you got the code? You need to unmute yourself once you need to talk to me.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. So I was asking that did you get the code?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
How did you get it?
I I asked. I just looked at it right now, sir. I didn't attend yesterday's class.
No, how did you get the code? So the code we are doing, coding we are doing in the class, have you got that code with you?
No, sir, not yet.
Okay, so this is what exactly I was asking, that get the code, right? And in the last lecture, we discussed this thing that how can you get the code, right? So please go over it, right? And get the code. Anybody else who could not quite get the code? Menthan, were you able to get the code?
Yes, sir. I will.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, I see your repo in GitHub.
Okay, good, very
Directly.
good.
I can clone that.
So somebody knows that where did we stop last time? What were we doing last time?
So with GitHub will check out the your
And
repo.
then after that we did little bit of
Position,
position also,
position.
right? So we were
Yeah.
doing position last time, right?
Uh,
So let's continue that discussion on position, right? And then we'll do float, right? So these are the two topics I want to discuss today. And then I will upload the code through GitHub, and I will see that you get the incremental code downloaded, right? So this is the agenda for the day. So let's begin with it. Let's open your page and see that where were we. So this is the page we were at, right? So beauty of the nature, and we got this image, and this image is, by itself is positioned, right? So it is positioned, or you can say this thing that this container of this image is positioned, right? And it is positioned, how did we position it? Relatively. And when we say that, it is positioned relatively, means that relative to its actual position. Always remember this thing. When we say that something is positioned relatively, right, or position colon relative, it means that it is positioned relative to its actual position, right? And when we say that something is positioned absolutely, it means that position relative to its parent who is also positioned, right? Other than, static, right? Who is also positioned. And then, we use top, bottom, left, right property to position that properties to position that element, right? So this is exactly we are going to discuss right now. Say, for example, we come into the code. This is a CSS file, and this is our HTML. And within the image, so this is the image, and this is the image division. So we go within the image division, come over here, and here we put two buttons, right? So maybe button. So this is a button. Say this is type is button, name is button, and maybe let's decorate it. Class is equal to say it has a button class, right? And it has a left button class, right? BTN and BTN left, right? And let's put an L for the time being over here, right? And then let me make a right button. Let me make a right button. So copy, paste, right? And this is a BTN and it is BTN right, right? And then let's put an R over here. So this is R. Save it, save, and let's see where are these buttons are going to be placed. Reload it, and you can see that they are within the container, right? So this is the container, this border portion is the container in which this left and right L and R buttons are present. Everybody is happy, and buttons are like inline elements, so basically they are sitting next to each other, right? So let's try to beautify them. Okay, mind this thing that these two buttons are also situated within the same division, and this division is positioned relatively, right? Position relative, what does the position relative mean? Again, Ankit Rao, would you like to tell us?
So in relative, we need to give
No,
position like top, left, right,
no,
bottom.
question is that when we say something is positioned relatively or position colon relative, so what does it mean? Relative to what?
It is not dependent on parent.
No, relative to its original position, right? Whatever is, if we did not position it, whatever is original position it due to HTML, right? So this is position relative, right? So relative to the original position, right? And then we, as you were saying, then we can use top, bottom, left and right to further position it or to steer it, right?
Yes.
Got it? Naresh, are you getting me? Okay, good. Okay, I would suggest mostly people should turn on their cameras, which is good, definitely, because in this way I can see you guys and I can ask questions. Maybe I can understand this thing that how much are you getting out of my lecture, right? So coming back, so let's position them. So coming into CSS, so let's make classes BTN first of all. So dot BTN is a class. So we say that this button is going to have a width, right, and a height. So for example, we say that, hey, you BTN, your width is 5%, right? 5% of your container, right? And then your height is say 10% of your container, right? Save it, right? And see how does it look like now. So come back over here, reload it, right? They have not, taken any significant, height. So let's, for example, let's comment these two, save it and see them again. They are a little different. So definitely they are taking width, but they have not taken any height, right? So save it again, reload it, right? So height is like the same. So I come over here, I say that, hey, you guys, your display is inline block, right? Your display is inline block, right? And let me tell you one more thing, that there are another units of width and height, and those are the width and height of viewport, VW, right? So I can say 5 VW, right? VW means 5% of the width of the viewport, right? And I can say, for example, 10 VW, right? 10% of the height of the width of the viewport. And we can have VH also for the height, right? So I normally we use VW. So save it, come back over here, reload it, right? So these buttons have taken some height and width, right? These buttons have taken some height and width, right? Let us position them, right? We come over here, we say, hey, you buttons, your position is absolute, right? Once we say your position is absolute, now these two will be dangling, right? These two would be dangling. They are like, they don't know where to go unless you tell them that what is the bottom and what is the top or what is the left or right, right? So for example, we save it and we'll see that they will go out of the normal flow of their position. So they have gone right over here, right? Sitting over here within the container, and they are sitting on top of each other, not really knowing that where to go, right? So we come over here, we say, hey, you buttons, you lift up from the bottom, right? You lift up from the bottom. So we say bottom. You lift up from the bottom, say bottom 50%, right? 50% of the height of the container. So we say, hey, you buttons, right? You lift up from the bottom, save it, right? And we come back over here, reload it, and you can see that they are lifted up, right? They are lifted up from the bottom by the 50%, and 50% mark is here. This edge, the lower edge is at the 50%, right? But we, for example, we want this entire button to sit in the middle. So how are we going to do it? One way to do it is that we say bottom 50%, right? And then, okay, let me tell you the exact way how to do it. So we come over here, we say calc mean calculate 50% minus half of the height, which is 5 VW. So calc is calculate, right? And save it, reload. So now you can see that the buttons are sitting right in the middle, right? So let me tell you a bug story. I knew that this calc is a function, but I was trying to use it like this. I thought that white spaces hardly matter in computer science, so I was trying to use this, right? And hitting my head really hard, but it was not working. Right? And I had no clue what is the problem. And then I got the idea, CSS is like a very sensitive lady, right? So basically it will mind once you don't put a space, right? So save it, and you come over here, reload it, and it will go back. Right, so we have positioned them height wise, right? Let's go over here and let's write btn right. So we say dot btn right. So the right button, I want to put it to the right side, right? So I say that, hey, your right is 0, right? So we want to position you at a distance 0 from the right? So if I say so let's see what happens to the right button. So you can see that right button will go and sit right on the right hand edge of the container, right? So if you want, definitely we don't want to put it like here. So we can do one more thing over here, and that thing is that if we want to flush it with the image. So we can come over here. What is the padding over here? So image division had a padding of 10 pixel. So we can say you go sit 10 pixel from the right. So it will sit right at the image, right? Or you can put the image again within a container and then you can position relative to it, right? So basically, we have placed these buttons as we wanted them to place, right? Let me show you one more thing over here. Say, for example, we want to stretch this left button all across from the top to the bottom, right? So say, for example, from here, right from here to here, right? So how can we accomplish this? We can say,
Height 100%.
will it work? I'm not sure. Let's see, right? Okay, so we come over here, we say dot btn dash left, right? Left one, want to stretch, right? So we say bottom 10 pixel. So your bottom position is 10 pixels, save it, reload it. So its bottom is 10 pixel flushing with the image. And then this is again something important. We say top 10 pixel, right? Bottom 10 pixel, top 10 pixel. If we say height 100%, it is going to cover those paddings also, right? So save it and go back over here. So you can see, it is a setback. Height, button left, height 10 pixel, bottom 10 pixel. So what's wrong? Let's for the timing, let's comment it and see if it is not interfering.
Button height is 10 VW.
Say it again. Yeah. This is the reason. You're right. So we have to remove this height property. Yes, you're right. So yes, this was the reason, right? So basically now you can see this thing that it is stretching all across the height, right? So just a trick, sometime we use it, right? Okay, so let me bring the height back and yeah, you are very right. And let me just comment them, right? So basically, we have placed these buttons, at the right position. So let's beautify them a little bit. For example, we go to button right and we say border radius, right? Border radius, and not only border radius, border. So if we say, for example, if we say border radius top left, right? Top left border radius, say 100%, or maybe 5 VW, which is its width. And we say border radius bottom left, right? 5 VW. So you can see that it will make a nice oval kind of button, right? So this is like this, right? So you see buttons like this, they are being made like this. And similarly, we can come over here, copy them, and paste them over here. And here we can use, instead of left, we can use right. Right? Instead of left, we can use save them, right? Come back over here, reload. VW is a flexible unit, and you can see if I, for example, keep on reducing the width of the screen, the size of the button is also reducing amicably with it, right? And VW is a unit which you can use even in text size, right? So we have got up to here. Let's put some arrows over here. So let me take you to a website. Let me search it, right? So Google search HTML arrows, right? So let me see which website I want to take you to. Yes, this is the website. So, here you can have various beautiful HTML symbols. Say, for example, I want to pick these two, right? So I want to pick these, right? So basically, how can I use it? So left, the less than sign and greater than sign, right? So I can use them like this, or if I want, I can use these one, right? So LSAQO, etc. So maybe I will use this one, right? So copy it from here, and so this was left, so let's put it in the left button. So we come over here, paste it, right? And then for the right, I think it was right, paste it over here, maybe replace L with R, right? Save it and go back over there. This is you guys, reload it, and you can see that it has, those arrows. You can enlarge them a little bit by going to btn class. So btn, so this is the btn, and here we can say font size maybe 2 VW, right? Save it, come back, reload, right? So you can see that they have taken proper size, right? And in future, definitely, we can make it into, some kind of scroll, right? So let's do one more thing. Say, for example, we want to give them some, other shade of color. Maybe we say background, RGB A, RGB alpha, and maybe 205, 205, 205. This is a gray shade, and 0.3. Save it, and say, for example, we do one more thing. We say border none. Save it, reload it, right? So these are now light color buttons. Can you see them still, right? And these are light color buttons. So say, for example, we want to change their shade a little bit on hover. So we can say dot btn colon hover, right? And we can say background pseudo class, right? So background is, say, maybe up to 5, right? Save it and reload the page. And upon hover, buttons are getting a little bit more visible, right? And then if you want to do further, we can give another pseudo class. So we can say dot button colon, I think it is active. Yes, it is active, right? And control V, and maybe this is 0.8. Save it and reload it. So you can see that the button is having that press effect, right? Right. So this is a typical way to show the press effect, right? And definitely, you know, later on when we will be in JavaScript, we'll study this thing, that how to move these, you know, images, you know, and how to scroll, things like that. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, so this was about position, right? So this was about position. You know, as you know, you need position. You can use position in so many different ways. I need not to teach you each and every way because it is not possible, right? The basic thing you need to know is that position static is no position. Position fixed is fix it at a particular point. Position sticky is to be sticky at some point. For example, scrolling, and now it is sticky, right? Position relative is relative to its actual position, and position absolute is the position relative to the position of its positioned parent, right? Nearest positioned parent, right? So these are important things which you need to know. Any questions so far? Everything is good?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let me you know, fix this, you know, finish this topic over here, and let me take you to another layout thing, and that is float, right? So let's see that what is the purpose of float and how does float help us in making layouts, right? And float, you can say this thing that display, position, float. These are like legacy layout things, right? And then the latest ones are position, display grid, and flex, which I'm going to do later on, right? Maybe starting next week. Okay, any questions so far? No? Okay, so let's copy a little bit of code from here. Maybe HTML code, only HTML code. So this is a Debian with image. This is a paragraph. This is another paragraph, right? So let me just copy this entire page, copy it, and let me make a new folder over here, and new folder, and let me call it float, right? And let me go over here and new file, knowing float dot html, right? And let me paste this entire HTML over here. So this HTML is over here, and let me just close these files so that they don't come in our way. Let me save this and let me open this thing, and here let me do a few more things. For example, let me just delete this h2. Let me remove this image from here, and put it over here, right? And what else do I want to do? Maybe remove this Debian, right? Let me have this h1, understanding float, save it, relation, so knowing float, right? And let's have a new file over here, new file, and name it knowing float.css. Right, guys? So let me just open this. I need to come out of position folder also. So we have got float, right? Right. And knowing float.html, right? So this is the current situation. And let's name this image first of all. So I come over here and I say that image, your width is 20%. Save it, right? And just reload. Okay. So normally we don't reduce the width of the images up to such extent. We try to pick an image which is of the right size, right? But if it is not available, then we can do this thing. So everything is good up till here, and this is a big paragraph after that. And then we decided that okay, this image is kind of sitting separate to this text. We want this thing that this text should flow around the image. Are you getting me? That this text, should flow around the image. So how can we do this thing, right? So we come over here. We come over here in HTML, right? And we put this image, we cut this image from here. We cut this image from here, and maybe we want to paste it somewhere here, right? Save it, right? Save it. And let's go back over here, reload it. Now you can see that there is some text up on the top, and then there is a text starting right after this image over here, and there is some text over here. But this is not something we wanted to do, right? This is not something we wanted to do, right? So we come over here and we say, hey, you image. So maybe let's name it, right? Let's give it an ID. So ID is equal to first image. I need to take a little bit of break. So I would be joining you in a minute, right? So just a minute. Okay, so I was saying that we don't want this thing to happen like this, right? That this image is sitting over here and then text is continuing. Do you agree with me on it? Right? Hello, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So how to fix this thing? So we come over here, and in the CSS file, we come and we say that, hey, you image, or you can say hash the ID, right? Hash first image you float left, right? You go and float towards left, right? Save it and reload it. Something is missing. So first image, let's see, is it ID first image?
Sir, FIRST. ID spelling is wrong.
Yeah, right. I suspected this. FIRST. It is here FIRST. Oh, yes, R is missing, right? Save it, right? And we come over here, reload it. right? Reload it, and you can see that, you know, it is sitting as we desired or wish to sit, right? Everybody is good about it, right? Let's make it a little bit beautified. So we come back over here, we say, hey, image, you are going to have a margin of 5 pixels. Right, so it is like sitting nicely within the text, right? Any questions so far? Okay, so let's expand this paragraph a little bit more. If we copy this text and paste it over here, maybe paste a little bit more, save it, come back, reload, right? So this is it. Now say we want to have some other text, you know, some other image sitting right over here somewhere, right? So maybe let's put another image, right? So we copy this previous image from here. So we copy it up to over here, copy, and let's have this image embedded over here, right? And maybe we say there's this ID is second image. Save it. Let's see how does it look like, right? So you can see this thing now, it is like sitting in the text, right? But not fitting properly. So we can come over here and we can say use second image you float towards right. Save it. Reload it. And you can see that, you know, it is sitting on the right. Can you see this? Hello, everybody. Right? So this second
Yes.
image is sitting on the right side. Okay. So one more thing, you know, just want to show you this thing. We can come over here and, we can come over here in CSS and let's give the paragraph a little bit of color, right? So we say paragraph, your background is yellow, right? And let's do one more thing. And we go to the image and we say that, hey, image, your opacity is 50%. I think we can give it in percentage also and 0.5 also. Let's see. Okay. So we come back over here, reload. Why would I do so? And what do I want to show you? Tell me.
Maybe for highlighting the paragraph.
No, highlighting a paragraph is something definitely happening. But I wanted to show you this thing that actually paragraph, you know, we have given a background color of yellow to the paragraph. And you can see this thing that this yellow color is also underneath the image also. Right? So once you float something, right, it means that it is out of flow and the paragraph or everything is coming behind it, right? Say for example, if you just remove the opacity of 50% from the image, save it, reload, you cannot see it, but still paragraph is underneath it, right? But the text of the paragraph behaves a little bit different, and that flows around the image or around the floated element. Have you got the idea, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So once we have done so, let me have another image somewhere, maybe an image over here. Mm. So let me have an image after this paragraph. So previous two images was located within the paragraph, right? But this image is, I'm going to put it after this paragraph. So paste over here, this is the image, right? And this is the third image, for example, right? This is the third image, right? And say this third image, there is a paragraph after that, right? And let me copy this paragraph, Control C, Control V, right? And let me copy this paragraph, and let me do one more thing. Let me cut this paragraph, little bit, maybe cut it more. Right? So save it, and this is the third image. And let's say this third image, second image. So this is the third image. So hash third image, and we say, hey, you third image, you float left, right? You also float left. Save it. We come back over here, reload it, right? Now you can see this thing, that this image is floating on the left and this paragraph, is around it. Let's shorten this paragraph a little bit. Where is the paragraph? Let's, cut this portion, right? Save it, right? And reload it. Now you can see that this paragraph is kind of floating around, but since this is a small paragraph, so it is remaining here, but the next paragraph is also floating around after this space, right? So if we don't want this paragraph to float around, right, so we could go over here in this paragraph, right, and we say, we give it a class, maybe class is equal to don't float, right? So class is don't float, save it, and let's give this class over here. Let's make this class over here. So dot don't float, right? And we have to say, so float does not do anything. Say, for example, if we say float none, means that this paragraph is not going to float. But we want this thing, that this paragraph should not float around a floating element, right? So for that, we will say clear left, right? So if we want to avoid left floating element, we'll say clear left. If we want to avoid right floating element, we'll say clear right. If we want to avoid both, we can say clear both, right? So we come over here, reload the page, and you see that this paragraph has stopped floating around. Got it? Any question, guys? Everybody's happy about it? Any question? Okay, if there is no question, then let me do one more thing. Let me come over here, and this paragraph, which is floating, this is the floating paragraph, right? So this is, let me decorate it with a class. So class is equal to para with border, right? So this is a para with border, and we come over here and we say in CSS, let's copy it. And we make this class dot para with border, and we say you are having a border of maybe 3 pixel, solid red, and give it a padding also, right? And hey, you are going to get padding and padding of 5 pixel maybe. Save it, reload it, right? So you can see this thing that paragraph has got a padding, but something has broken. That image is getting out of that border, right? So which does not look good. If it is not you want, then definitely you can come over here and you can say, hey, you paragraph, your overflow is auto, right? So save it, reload it, and you can see that now it is going to sit separate to the right floated element. Any questions so far? Right, guys? So basically, it was something I wanted to teach you about float and about position. Right? Hope you, and definitely about clear also. I hope you have got it. If there is no question, then I will proceed further. Let me ask. Yes.
Sir, what is float inherit?
Float inherit that it is going to inherit the property of float from the parent. If parent is floating, so it will inherit that property from the parent.
Okay.
Right? Say for example, there is a container division and that container division is floating left, right? And then there is an image, and for that image we say float inherit. So it is going to inherit that property from the parent.
Okay.
Got it?
Thank you. Yeah.
Good. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay.
No,
Yes. Kamilish, question?
no, sir, no, sir.
Okay, okay, great. So basically, you know, we have learned how to deal with float and what, so basically this is, so if you want to show something like this, right? You have images and you want text around those images, so we float the images, right? So this is the sole purpose of it, right? This is the sole purpose. So this is how I mostly use it. Otherwise, I have never seen it being used some other way, right? So this is the best purpose of float, right? So let us do this thing that let us upload this code on Git, and let me have this opportunity to teach you that how would you get this code back with you, right? So let's come over here. Let's open the command prompt. So CMD. Okay, command prompt. And let me change directory to that folder. So let me open that folder. This is you guys, and yeah, this is you guys. So copy this path, cd, paste it over here, cls, right? So we'll say git. So first of all, before writing anything in git, so let me see that if something is not being saved. So everything is saved, right? So everything is saved. Let me go back and let me write git status, right? So status, so we have two new folders, right? Float and position, either they are modified or new. So let's stage them. We say git add dot, right? So they are added to the staging area, and CLS and git status. right? Git status, and status is these are in the staging areas now. And what is the branch I am at? Git branch. So I am at new branch. Hey man, I did not want to work in new branch, right? And I am in new branch, right? So this gives me this opportunity that I would like to show you that how can we merge branches, right? So maybe I want to have all these changes merged to the master branch, right? So we come over here, we close these files. So these files are closed, right? And we go back over there and we say, so whatever branch you want to merge to, you need to be in that branch, right? You need to be in that branch. So we go over there, we say git checkout. You know, last time we were discussing that something is missing from here. What is that? We did not think that we are at a different branch, right? So git checkout master, right? So now, okay, sorry. So it is saying that we have to commit first, you know. So what branch is that, right? Okay, so go back, git checkout, sorry, git checkout new branch. So always remember, be very careful while working with git, right? Git status, right? So these are the staging area. So we say git commit -m. What are we committing? We are committing position and float, right? So CLS
So
git.
it is optional to write in double quotes, right? It's just for our reference.
What is that? Yeah, comment is you can say that it is for our reference, but it is
Okay.
mandatory, right?
Oh,
So
it's mandatory.
yeah,
Okay.
git status. So your branch is ahead of origin new branch by one commit. So basically it is telling that, hey, you are in new branch and this branch is not in sync now with the branch on the repository, remote repository, right? So we don't care about it. Say, wonderful, we are ahead, don't worry about it, right? So we come over here and we again say git branch. So we are at new branch, we say git okay, git checkout
Sir,
must.
spelling.
Spelling.
Checkout spelling.
Checkout.
C. H will come, sir, after C.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Git checkout master, right? So now we are on the master branch, switch to master branch, right? If we somehow try to look into that branch, where is you guys? So this is, you can see this is there is no folder like, what was the folder? Float, right? And there is no even position folder, right? All those position folders are not here, right? So let me now manage merge, right? So since I don't merge every day, let me open this document and see that, you know, how does merge work, right? What do I know that git merge and new branch, but let's see. So merge, right? So let's go to the merge. So it is so git, okay, to change just a minute.
It must be git merge and branch name.
Yeah, I know it should be git merge and branch name, right? Yeah, here it is. Merging branches involved. Okay, so then git merge and branch name, right? Okay. So we come over here. we say git merge new branch, right? So it is so nice of him that no conflict came, and it has merged everything, right? So merge made by the recursive strategy. So these are all merges made, right? And everything is done, right? So let's see, have we got everything back? So we come over here, we can see we have got float, right? Right over here. And we have got, what else? We have got
Position.
position also, right? Where is the position?
Bot.
Yeah, this one, we have got this also, right? So now we are at the master branch, and master branch is up to date now. The entire code which we accidentally did in the new branch, now it is merged into the master branch. Got it? And now I want to upload this master branch, right? So I want to go over here. So I think it is get push, right? So I will say, okay, I know that it is get push. So let's say get push, right? So since I have already defined the branch where I want to push for the master, so I will just say get push, right? And it is pushing right now, right? So basically it has pushed the entire master branch into the repository, right? And now you can pull this code down, right? You can pull this code down. So who is going to volunteer? Let me stop share. And let me give you permission to share screen, right? And who is going to share their screen? Someone who has obtained the previous code and now want to get new code. Okay, go on, Sanket, you share your screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so show us your editor first of all. Okay,
Yes,
show
sir.
us the folder.
Shift the folder.
Yeah, here on the left, right? And here you can see that we don't have a position folder. We don't have the float folder, right? You did not quite
Yes,
get
sir.
it because they are made today, some of it. So go to your command prompt. Good. And so just a minute. Okay, so you are currently on which branch? Sanket branch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so git checkout master. Just a minute, just a minute. Git status first of all. Sanket, I get feedback from you, so can you just do
Oh,
something about it?
okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you. So git status, right? So on branch Sanket, nothing to commit, right? And you can also check in the editor that if there is nothing to be saved yet, right? Some unsaved work, right? So everything is saved, right? And now
Yes.
close these files in your editor, because sometimes it causes conflict, right? So everything is good now. So we come over here and we say git checkout master, right? And git status. Okay. So your branch is up to date with origin master because it does not know that we have made changes, right? So nothing to commit, nothing, working tree is clean, right? So here we come and we say, just a minute, let me just make it sure that I'm telling you the right command. and I know that it is, just give me, it is pull and merge, but this is fetch, I believe. Just a minute. So, mm, okay, so it is, so it is, okay, yes. So you will write git fetch origin, right? So git fetch origin, right? So it is going to fetch the origin to you, right? Enter. Okay, now here write git merge. So you want to merge origin slash master branch into your current master branch, right? You are at the master branch, right? Are you on the master branch?
Yeah, check out. Yes, sir. Switch to
Yeah,
master. Yes, sir.
yeah, you did chat out. Yeah, yeah. So git merge origin slash master, right? So git merge origin slash master. So that branch, master branch, which is from the origin, you want to merge it, that branch into your current master branch. Enter, right? So this merge is complete, and you go back, and you can see that you have got this code, right? Automatically. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So you, whatever the code I uploaded, you have got that code with you, right? And now if you want to work on this code, right, I would say that you go back to your own branch, right? You go back to your own branch, right? Go back, right? Clear screen. And just for the sake, so just say git status first of all. Git status, right? So your master branch, your branch is up to date with origin slash master, nothing to commit, everything is hunky dory. So now you can go back, you say git checkout whatever the name of the branch, Sankit, good, enter. So CLS, go back to the editor, and here you can see that those things are not here yet, right? Because you're on the different branch, right? So let's come over here and we say, go back to the prompt, and we say git merge, right? You are on Sankit branch, so git merge master, right? Enter. Right, so now you have got that entire code into your branch. Now you are running two branches, one is master, one is Sankit. Right, now Sankit, you can, in Sankit branch you can do whatever you want to do, right? And then, whenever you want to get my code, you can get that code into master branch and merge it into your branch, right? In this
Yes,
way,
sir.
my work would not come in conflict with you, and you will be having this liberty that you will keep on working on your branch while merging my code back into your own.
Yes, sir. I can get merge origin slash master. That way I can bring the
Yeah,
your
that way is
code
also
first.
possible.
Then
But what I'm doing here is that I'm providing you with a master branch which is in sync with my code. Are you getting me?
okay. Yes, sir.
Right? So I'm giving you a code which is in sync with my code, and then providing you with this opportunity that you have your own code also with you.
Yes, sir.
Right? So actually GitHub has various workflows. You can work in so many different ways with Git. Right? So is there somebody who works with Angular or Ionic? I thought that there was someone working with Angular. No? Okay, so once there is someone, I can tell them another workflow, right? Okay, let me tell you all. For example, once you work with Angular, you have to install Angular framework, right? And Angular framework, takes like 1 GB of space. Now, every time I have to make a new project, I have to, get that 1 GB of space, right? And this is like little bit tough on my disk space, right? So what do I do is that, say, for example, I'm working on an Angular project or Ionic project, right? I download it, install it, and then make it a branch, raw skeleton, right? And raw skeleton branch, and then I keep on working on this thing, and maybe I want to have another project of Angular, so I switch back to raw skeleton branch, right, and create a new branch from there. So in this way, I don't have to install that raw project again and again and again, and thereby I save my disk space, right? So basically, there could be tons of different ways to work with Git and GitHub. It's all up to you. Any questions so far? Okay, so if you have got up till here, I would say that let's take a 5 minutes break, and we will come back in 5 minutes. Why? Because I want to start a new article with you, and I want to give you a physical break for that, so that you get some breathing space and don't mix these things with other things, right? So let's have 5 minutes break, and we'll meet in 5 minutes, right? Take care and stop
So can I
share.
stop sharing?
Yes, you can stop share, please.
Okay, sir.
So let me. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So hope everybody is fresh for the new topic, right? And these lectures are so
Ah,
long,
hello.
right? And we have to cover so many different topics in, in one lecture that sometimes, we have to take break so that we don't mix up various things. And I want to utilize the entire lecture, because if I will not be covering the entire material, right? So everybody is good. Any question from the last section? Any question from the last section? There's no question. Okay, great. So since there is no question, so we start our next topic, right? So let me share my screen. So the next topic which I want to do with you is the latest layout technique, which is known as grid, right? So grid is very important, and it is one of the most, latest layout scheme CSS has, right? So let me show you the utilization of grid first of all, and then, we will study grid, right? So let me take you to my website, to one of my websites. And this is a website which, I made all by myself, right? I did not take help from your, you can say that I did not have a team at that time. So I made it all myself. I did not even use a library. I was cynic at that time a little bit. So for example, this is a grid right in front of you, right? So this in front of you is a grid. Okay. So grid is whenever you see that there are grid lines, right? So basically this is a grid. And the magic of grid is that if, for example, I start reducing its width, at some point, it will change its style altogether, right? Seamlessly. So I was a little lazy. I did not give 2-3 steps, but today with you, I will definitely make 2-3 steps of it, right? So this is grid in action, which you can see right now. Right? We want to make something like this, right? So I want to make something like this with you guys, right? Even better thing, right? I want to make a little bit better thing for you, right? So let's see that how can we design a grid. So let me close this window. And whenever we want to make a grid, we plan it first of all, right? There is no grid we can make without planning it, right? So we take a piece of paper and see that what do we want to put, right? How would this grid look like on big screen? How do we want it to look like on medium-sized screens, right? How do we want it to look like in small size screens, right? So, and then we plan according to that, right? So let me pick a pen, paper, and say, for example, so this is my entire paper, right? And I want this thing that here I have a bigger image, right? And right over here, I want a list, right? And then here maybe I want one card, I want another card. Since page is of limited height, so maybe here I want how to move this guy. Okay, so let me just move it. Move them a little bit. So two cards, and okay, very good. And then maybe I want to expand it a little bit, and I want to copy this, Control C, Control V, right? Two more cards over here, right? And then I want another card, two cards, right? And then maybe over here, maybe expand this a little bit more. So I want something like this, right? I want something like this, and maybe on a smaller screen, let me copy it all. Maybe on a smaller screen, I want to have some modifications, right? Say on a smaller screen, I want, how many elements are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe I don't want to show this. And right, so maybe on a smaller screen, I want to show something like this, right? And maybe at further smaller screen, I want to make it into a single column, right? Are you guys getting me what I want to make over here? Right,
Yes,
so
sir.
basically a true responsive design, right? That not only the font size will change, which is flexible design, and the items will change their sizes according to the size of the screen, but the layout will change altogether, right? The layout will change altogether once we want to, once our screen is of smaller size, right? So this is, this is the true way that you make a responsive web app. Getting me? Any question? So this you can do very easily with the help of grid, right? So what are we going to do? So first of all, we would be having a container, this red thing, and we'll say, hey, you container, your display type is grid, right? Once we say that your display type is grid, then, this basically all the elements you are going to put inside it, they are going to go fit into a grid. Then you tell that grid that, hey, you grid, what is your template columns, right? What is the templates of your column, right? For example, you are going to have 1, 2, 3 columns, right? So these are 3 columns, right? And you are going to have 3 columns. How many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, right? So sometimes people say that don't give template rows, but I have seen this thing that some browsers, at least early in their early stage of accepting grid, they used to break grid once you don't give a grid template row, right? So as a precaution, I always give grid template row, right? So you tell them that, hey, you grid, this is your template of rows, this is your template of columns, right? And this is how things are going to fit into it. Have you got it? Are you excited to know about grid? So let's do it then, right? So let's go ahead and do it. So we come over here. Let's open a new project within your folder. And new folder, and let's name it knowing, or just grid, maybe grid, right? And within this new file, knowing grid.html, right? And here new file, um, knowing grid.css. Everybody's good? Hello, everybody.
Yes, sir.
You're getting it? Okay. And let me just close it. Let me split left. Here is left. Split left. Close it. Okay, so this is what? This is knowing grade.html and HTML skeleton basic boiler template, right? H1, we want to know. Great. Save it, right? And let's open it. So for example, this is the grid and yeah, this one, right? We want to know grid. Do you want to know grid? Right, good. Okay, I'm very excited about it, right? So we want to know grid, right? So we come over here and whatever grid we want to make, we make a division here for that. So we say this is a division and this division is class grid container. Grid container, right? So this division is going to have the grid, right? Save it.
Sir, it is grid.
Oh, yeah. Right, thank you very much. Right, grid container. Sometimes, my code has these kind of errors, and they are very hard to catch then. Okay, but thankfully, I have smart eyes with me, like you people who can judge that, hey, I made this error. Okay, so by the way, which branch I'm at currently? Git branch. Thankfully, I'm at master branch, right? So I'm going to push it once I go from here, right? So grid container. So this is a container and layout tells that how many items I want to put here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. These are like main
9
item,
items.
then sidebar, right? Or side menu. So 1, 2, and then these are 2 things. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items after that, right? So natural flow is from top to right and then from top to bottom, right? So once you are going to put it, first item will come over here, next item here, next here, here, here. So they will go like this, right? So let's come here. So we want to put, so it's a grid division class, and this is grid container. And here I make another division, right? And this is main image division, right? So this is the main image. I want to put it there, right? So main image division, and maybe make a paragraph a little bit. Main image will come, right? Okay, then we have another division. So let's take main or the list division, right? And then make a paragraph over here, list of courses comes here, right? And then let's make another division and let's have item. This is an item, and then this is item 1, right? And let's make a paragraph here, item 1. And how many items are there? And let's name them item also, right? So item, right? So these are items. And where did I put item? Oh, not this. This is the container. I'm sorry. So here, item, right? And let's copy this one. Control C, Control V. So this is item 2. Control V. So this is item 3. Control V. So this is item 4. Control V. So this is item 5. Control V. So this is item 6. Right? And Control V. So this is item 7, right? So we had 7 items, right? Hello, everybody. Right? So 7 items. Okay. And let's do one more thing. Let's see this page first of all. And you will see that they will be sitting on top of each other, right? Why? Because we have not styled them yet, right? So we come over here, reload it. So they are sitting on top of each other. Main image will come, then list of courses comes here, then item 1, item 2, up to item 7, right? So we come here in the CSS file and we style, we say dot grid container. So first thing we say is that, hey, your display is great, right? Your display is what? Your display is great. So let's give it a background color, just, so background is light gray. Right? And then we say create template columns, right? And we want to give 3 columns. So we say auto, 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 right? Or we could have also said 1 FR, 1 FR, 1 FR, right? So FR stands for fraction. Both of them are same here. We learn all of them. So we say that, hey, you are going to have 3 columns. So auto, 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 right? So how many rows are there, by the way? If we come back over there, so 1, 2, 3, 4 rows are there, right? So we come here, we say grid template rows and 4. So we say auto. So we can also say this thing like this. Repeat probably 4 comma auto. Otherwise you can say auto, 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 right? So I need to check the syntax whether auto is first and 4 is first. I'm not sure, but I will check. Don't worry.
It's correct, sir. 4 will come first.
4 will come first. Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. And then I come over here and okay, I think that this is enough for now. So let's see how does it look like. So once I say this thing, reload it, something has gone wrong. Let's see.
I guess we didn't include CSS.
Oh yes, exactly. This is what happened, right? I was kind of shocked that, hey, something has gone wrong, right? Okay, so here we link it. So style sheet and name is knowing grid.css, right? Save as and reload it. Right, so you can see that now they have started to sit into a grid, right? So I will stop over here, and this is the beginning. I will spend our full-fledged next lecture into this knowing grid, right? And grid is one of the most important topics of CSS, right? So let me stop share and let me ask that if you have any questions. Any question, guys? So if there is no question, I will stop over here, and I will see you all on Monday. Take good care of yourself until then. If you want to have me for your office hours, I'm available right now. Take care. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Yes.